Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more waterfowl patterning. And I've got another new load out here today that we haven't tested yet, and one that I have some decent hopes for. So for the load we've got out here today, I've got some of these guys, the Herter's steel shot loads. These are a 12 gauge, 3-inch, 1 1/8 ounce of number 2 steel shot, going about 1550, so they say. Now, if you've been following along with the channel, then you probably know that the Herter shells definitely seem to do pretty well. Not only their turkey loads, but they're just plain old like Target small game loads as well have patterned really well. So I have some decent hopes for these that they should show us some pretty decent performance. Now for the setup we're going to be running today, I've got this guy out. This is my Remington 1187 with this choke, which is the stock modified choke. And this modified choke is typically what I like to use with steel shot like this. It has seemed to give me some pretty consistent and good results over my testing with it. So that's what we're going to stick with for today. But as for the testing, it's going to be the same as usual. I have a duck target down there at 40 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll see how close we actually get to the 1550 that's on the box. So let's get you guys a view of this duck target, and I'll head up and take the shot. We'll look at what kind of chrono number we had, and then we'll go check out and see what kind of performance they gave us. So let's head over here and shoot them and see what the Herter's waterfowl shells can do for us. Okay, so now we're looking at our chronograph here, and as you can see, it gave us 1370. Now the box was claiming 1550, so we did not see the box claim or really anywhere close to it. Now I do expect these to probably dance around the 1400 mark, so it's not too bad for speed. Definitely not the slowest we've seen, but not the best we've seen either. But even though we didn't see the box claim, how did they actually perform downrange? Let's go check it out and see. Alright, so now we're downrange here at our 40-yard target, and this is what we got. We absolutely have a dead duck there. I mean, there's 8 or 9 in the wings, 3 or 4 more in the body there, and another one that clipped the top of his neck up there. So absolutely a dead duck. And looking at the pellets on this blue target paper here, that's a pretty even spread. Pretty nice looking spread right there. So we're definitely looking pretty good here. Now backing up and taking a look at the whole pattern here, it's a little bit on the interesting side. I definitely think it's a little bit taller vertically than it is wide, which is pretty interesting. We definitely have more pellets above the target and below the target than we do on either side of the target over here. So that's definitely pretty interesting to see. But overall, even though the outer edges of the pattern, like the sides, are not quite as even as what I would necessarily like to see, I can't really argue with the core area of this pattern that's on this blue sheet of paper here. If there's a duck anywhere within that, he is not at all going to make it through there. So overall here, I'm pretty happy with how that performed. Absolutely a waterfowl killing pattern, no question about that. I don't think I'd have an issue taking that out into the field. Okay, and here's the wad out of that shell, and initially nothing really too special to note here. It is a pretty stiff plastic compared to a lot of wads. It's almost like a sabot from a shotgun slug type of thickness. But as you can see, nothing stuck down in there. Just you can see the little dimples from the shot. It opened up pretty evenly. Maybe one petal down here opened up a little bit farther, but pretty evenly. But nothing really too special to see on this guy here. I definitely think it did what it was supposed to do. And it did fly all the way like 50 yards. It flew over the top of the 40-yard target. So definitely the farthest wad we've had fly so far. But nothing really too special to see. Just pretty interesting to look at here, I guess. And one thing I think we should take quick note of here with these shells, these are a waterfowl shell, but as you might be able to see there, the crimp is not really sealed all that well. In some of them it looks okay, and other ones I can see the steel BBs down in there. So that's definitely something to note. If you're taking these out into really wet conditions, be careful and don't let a whole bunch of water get down in there, or else you might have a shell that does not go off when you need it to. So I would like to see it either like hot glued or some kind of material on there, waxy material or a better crimp or something to better waterproof these shells since they are a waterfowl load. But either way, something definitely to take note of on this one. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that pattern there? I really don't have too many issues with that. I'd like to see maybe the edges a little bit more consistent. just so that way if a shot is a little bit ahead or a little bit behind, it gives you a little bit more leeway. But the central core area of that pattern that's on that blue paper right there, I have no complaints at all about that. So overall here, I definitely think we're off to a good start with these shells. But either way, at the end of the day here, definitely have a dead duck and definitely have a pretty decent looking pattern. So leave your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think here. And if you have any experience testing some of the Herter shells, then by all means let me know that as well. But with that being said, I'm going to get back to testing for y'all. We do have an Instagram now as well, which I'll leave a link for in the description, so you can head over there and see some sneak peeks and things over there if you would like. But I'm going to get back to the testing, so I'll see y'all in the next one.